my dear children, a warm welcome to the Gurudeva online classes. Okay, so this lesson, the living organisms, characteristics and the habitat, in this lesson we had learned with respect to the two parts. Means I want to recall what we discussed in yesterday's class. Okay, so in yesterday's class we discussed only the main point, that is the adaptation. What's the meaning of the adaptation? I would like to once again recall that statement. Okay, for your reference, the adaptation means the animals, the specific features of the animals which enables the animals to lead a life naturally. That process we are going to call that as an adaptation. In this class, we are going to study some of the interesting points. First one is habitat, second one is different types of a habitat, and biotic and abiotic components, importance of adaptation. Last but not least, that is the activity number 2. Okay, so one by one we should go through the points. What is the first point is habitat. What is this habitat? Habitat nothing but very easy concept, the dwelling place of the animals. Okay, so dear children, I have used dwelling. Dwelling means the living area of the animals is called as a dwelling. Okay, but the habitat, it is also one of the process, means the dwelling place of the animals is, we are going to call that as a habitat.
Examples for the habitat: rats lives in a burrows, a cow lives in a shed, lion lives in a den, and man lives in a home or a house. These are.
So we can understand the meaning of the habitat and we understood the meaning of the adaptation. Now I am going to remember you one of the most important point. Adaptation nothing but you already learned that, you already know the process of that. Okay, adaptation, it is also one of the important factor that can be held in organisms to live their life. As most important, the habitat also plays a very vital role in an organism's life, because this habitat gives the animals food, shelter and also the place. Okay, so that's why this habitat also, it plays a vital role in an organism's life. That's why we are going to prefer these two, adaptation and the habitat. It's going to be 50 plus 50, it's going to be 100%, means for these two also very important factors in an organism's life. Okay, so next we should discuss about the different types of habitat. If we go through this point, different types of habitat, we can see only the two types of the habitats. What are those? The first one is terrestrial and the second one is aquatic. Okay, for the sake of interest, okay, to draw your attention towards the topic, just I had drawn one pot here. Please children, look at the board, look at this picture. Okay, just to consider this is the plant. Okay, a potted plant. This potted plant you can consider as a habitat. Okay, habitat, as I told you, in a habitat we are going to be see the two types. The one of the most important is terrestrial and the second one is aquatic habitat. Okay, first one is terrestrial and the second one is aquatic habitat. Now the meaning of the habitat we learnt already. Now we have to know about the meaning of the terrestrial and as well as the meaning of the aquatic habitat. Okay, let me see the meaning of the terrestrial and as well as the aquatic habitat. Terrestrial nothing but plants and animals living on the land. Okay, that process we are called as a terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial nothing but, my dear children, please remember in your mind, a land. Okay, of course variety of lands you are going to be see surrounding of you, but that is not considerable here. But the terrestrial nothing but the land. The animals and the plants live on land. That habitat we are going to be preferred as a terrestrial habitat. Okay, fine. Next, the second one is aquatic habitat. What is this aquatic? Aqua means water. Okay, aqua means water. Here I had written a word aquatic. Okay, aquatic habitat means the plants and animals live in the water. This process we are preferred as an aquatic habitat. I hope you understood very clearly. Once again I am repeating, terrestrial nothing but the plants and animals live on land is called terrestrial habitat. The plants and animals live in water we are called as an aquatic habitat. This is the meaning of the terrestrial and as well as the aquatic habitat. Now we should go through the examples. Okay, which are the examples we have to be considered under the column of the terrestrial and under the column of the aquatic. That is the question arises in our mind. Okay, so to give an answer for this question, I would like to give you the examples for the terrestrial and as well as the aquatic habitat. Please children, look at the potted plant. Okay, so here also some of the branches, here also leaves, here also leaves, just to make you understand very clearly. Okay, so I had written here forest, grassland and a mountain. Okay, these three are the varieties of the terrestrial habitats or examples of the habitats, terrestrial habitat. I hope it's clear, right? Okay, once again I will recall the forest, grassland, mountain. These three are the examples for the terrestrial habitat. In the same way, the second aquatic habitat, that is the aquatic habitat, I would like to give the examples lakes, rivers and the oceans. These three are the examples for the aquatic habitat. I hope it's very clear for you people. Okay, so let me continue the lesson. Now we understood the meaning of the adaptation, the meaning of the habitat and the types of the habitats and also the examples with respect to the types. Right. Okay, next one, biotic and the abiotic components. It is also very important. Okay, dear children, biotic means, bio means life. Okay, bio means life. Biotic nothing but these are the factors. In these factors we can identify the organisms. It may be of the plants or it may be of the animals. Okay, this is, we can call that as a biotic components. Like what are the abiotic components? Abiotic components means you are going to see, for example, just I am giving one example for you. Okay, just to visit a forest area. In that forest area, you are not at all able to see only the organisms. I mean the animals and the plants. Rest of the animals and the plants, you could have seen many materials in a forest area. What are those? Let me see. The water, okay, the earth and the sand. Okay, water, air, sand and rocks. These are all together we are going to call that as an abiotic factors. Abio means they don't have life. Okay, that gives the meaning of the abiotic components. Okay, dear children, once again I will tell you the biotic components means it is including of the living organisms, that is of the plants and animals. You can give the n number of the examples for the plants and animals. In the same way, abiotic components means it doesn't have life, means surrounding of you are going to see air, water, sand, rocks. Okay, all together they are constructing some factors or some components. We are prefer that as an abiotic components. I hope it's clear, right? Okay, next, importance of adaptation. Before going to this point, I would like to say one of the most important points. Just you understood the meaning of the adaptation and also the habitat. Now, my question to you people, the abiotic and abiotic factors, these two are plays an important role in an adaptation and a habitat. Yes, there must be a very important role of these two, biotic and as well as the abiotic components. Okay, so these two are depend on each other. How? There is a question, of course. Just to consider your example. Okay, you are wake up from in the morning itself, early morning, okay, immediately your mom, she is giving some of the food for you people, okay, so you are eating the food, you are getting the energy to do some works, right? You are considered, you are as a living or biotic component, okay. The food you are going to live in particular area, that is also the abiotic factor, okay. You are breathing means air, means oxygen dissolved in the air, that is also abiotic component. And you are drinking a plenty of water a day, that water also, it is also the abiotic component, okay. I hope you understood, okay. For the living or for to lead a life, the biotic and as well as the abiotic factors play some very important role, okay. So you understood very clearly. Please don't be neglect regarding the abiotic factors. If there is no abiotic factors, definitely you won't live on this earth, okay. You are standing on the earth. Please remember, earth, it is also one of the important abiotic factor. You are drinking the water, that is also the abiotic factor, okay. So abiotic factor also plays an important role to live the life in a particular area. This is the important point I want to say you people. Please remember this, okay. Next, let me continue the point, that is the importance of adaptation. Why this is adaptation important? Dear children, in yesterday class I told you one of the most important concept, that is the acclimatization. What is this acclimatization? I told it by giving one of the example. Okay, acclimatization means it is also type of the adaptation, but it can happen in a short duration. Okay, it doesn't need much time, but this adaptation till end of the life, it can be going on with the organisms, okay. That is the difference you can identify acclimatization and as well as the adaptation, okay. This is the first point. Second point, what is the importance of the adaptation? So in part 1 video, you observed that two children, they have gone for a trip, even they had visited many places, they had collected many organisms, okay. Just I am going to recall you why the adaptation is important, because in some of the different surroundings, all those two children, they are identified different organisms. How can it possible? Means you are living in this particular normal areas, okay. When I take to you people for the mountain regions, definitely you are going to be somewhat difficulty. You are feeling difficulty to lead your life in a mountain regions because of the adaptation, right? Okay, so adaptation means different animals, they are leading their life in a different regions with respect to the climatic conditions. That's why this adaptation, it plays an important role in organisms. Okay, the third point, very important point for the importance of the adaptation means, just to observe adaptation, as I told you. So some of the animals, definitely they are going to be adjust very clearly to that particular environment. If in case the organisms, they won't adjust for the climatic conditions, what happens? Are they surviving that particular area or particular region? No, not at all, because they are going to be dead. Even though I told you one of the example, that is the dinosaurs. Means all those animals, nowadays we are not getting all those animals. We are getting the animals only in terms of the fossils. Okay, such animals, they are not lead their life, okay, with respect to the conditions of the environment. Immediately they are going to be died, or they are going to be extinguished. This is the case happened in the adaptation. That's why when there is several organisms we are seeing on this earth, they are going to lead their life naturally because of this adaptation itself. Okay, so that these are the three important points I would like to say regarding the adaptation. My dear children, in this chapter, just adaptation and habitat. These two are the very important organs in this chapter, the living organisms, characteristics and the habitat. Okay, so let me continue. That is the activity number 2. What is this activity? Okay, just I am giving a small introduction about the activity. So why we are doing the activities? Yes, there must be a reason or there must be an intention. Okay, so in the activity number 2, we are going to prefer the abiotic factors. Means the experiment label or experiment intention is the abiotic factors plays an important role in the plants. Okay, how we can prove this? Definitely to prove this statement, we are going to conduct one small activity. Children, okay. So as I told you in the video about the activity 2, it is dealing with the abiotic factors. So now I am going to explain one of the experiment. It is the effect of the abiotic factors on a plant growth. Okay, so let us perform an activity. Before going to that, I want to explain once again the meaning of the germination. What is this germination? Okay, germination, it include with the seeds development. Okay, so just I am going to consider one of the best example here, moth bean. This is the moth bean. Okay, in Kannada we are going to call that as an madake kalu. Okay, you take that dry seeds, and those dry seeds you can allow the water and you have to keep those dry seeds in a day. Okay, after one day what happens, you can take those soaked seeds and pour in a cotton cloth and tie it very tightly. After that, very next day you could have seen that definitely you are getting seeds. Okay, that seeds we are going to call that as an germinated seeds or sprouts. We are going to call that as an sprouts. In Kannada, molake kalu. Okay, so from these germinated seeds we are going to get a new plant. This is all about the germination. Now but my intention is, what are the effects of the abiotic factors on these seeds? Okay, to prove this, okay, to get a clarification regarding this statement, we have to start one of the activity. Okay, so please children, look here. I am taking 4 bowls. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I had taken 4 bowls. Next, this is another one bowl. It is off with the dry moth bean. Okay, these are the dry seeds. So look at here children. This is the moth bean seed. I already poured those dry seeds in this water, and a day, after one day, I am getting like this. These seeds we are called as an soaked seeds. Okay, so in this experiment we are going to test the abiotic factors. Okay, so I'll take these soaked seeds in 4 parts. This is the first part, this is the second part, this is the third part, this is the fourth part. Okay, so my dear children, look at here. 5 bowls are there. This is bowl 1, bowl 2, bowl 3, bowl 4, bowl 5. Okay, so now let us start the experiment. We have to take the bowl 1 and keep a water. Okay, keep a water and you have to place this here. Okay, those 2 bowls, bowl number 1 and bowl number 2, we have to place in some places. Next, the third bowl, it is already soaked seeds. These soaked seeds we have to preserve in a sun rays. Where you getting sun rays, at that places you need to keep this. Okay, dear children, this is the soaked seeds. This is the bowl number 3. You can place these soaked seeds 3-4 days in a sun, where in which area you are getting a sun rays more, at that particular places you need to place this bowl for a 3-4 days. Okay, this is the bowl number 3. Start.
Okay, my dear children, this is the bowl number 4. I placed the soaked seeds in the bowl number 4 and I placed this in a dark side, means dark place where the sunlight not entered. Okay, this is the bowl number 4. Bowl number 5, I had taken soaked seeds and I placed these in a refrigerator. Okay, so 3 to 4 days you can preserve this bowl number 5 in the refrigerator.
My dear children, just now you observed the experiment and how to do that. Okay, I hope you understood all the steps of the experiment and you are doing at home. Okay, so based on this statement, I would like to ask you some questions. Means I am asking you some questions. Those are the questions you have to be observed very carefully while doing the experiment. Okay, so the first observation is, what do you notice after a few days? This is the first point. Okay, second point is, do the seeds in all these 5 conditions germinate uniformly? This is the second observation. And the third observation is, do you found slower or no germination in all these cases? This is the third observation. And the fourth observation, do you realize that abiotic factors like air, water, light and heat are important for the growth of the plants or not? You have to observe it. Okay, so finally I am going to conclude this experiment by one of the statement, that is, in fact the abiotic factors plays a vital role in development of the plant or development of the living organisms. This is the theme of the experiment. Okay, thank you. In the next session we are going to be discuss some of the important points. What are those? We have considered here for terrestrial habitat and as well as the aquatic habitat. Just we can consider the examples of the forest, the grassland and the mountain. We have to see the specific features of these forest, grassland and the mountain by considering the terrestrial habitat. And please you see the video on the day itself and you have to ask in a group with respect to the science group. Okay, so before going to wind up the session, I would like to say one of the most important factor regarding the science, means how we have to develop our immune system. Okay, to develop your immune system, daily you have to use fresh vegetables, fresh fruits and as well as the sprouted seeds. Okay, as I told you, mothbean and also mung. Okay, these are the favorable sprouts. Please you can eat daily in the morning or in the evening. Okay, so by saying this statement, I am going to conclude this session. We are going to be see tomorrow's class. Okay, bye children. Thank you.